Hello, friends, and welcome back to Doodling with Dottie. We're so glad you're here to join us. Right, Monkey? Uh-huh. So, do you remember, Monkey, what we're going to be creating today?
Robots!
Yes, we're going to be creating robots. And, Monkey, do you remember which shapes you need to make robots?
We need, squares and rectangles.
You're right. And I'm going to have you show the friends and remind them which shapes we're talking about here. So, Monkey, here is Sammy Square. And Sammy Square has, let's count how many sides Sammy Square has.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, Sammy Square has 4 sides. And the square that he has 4 sides that are the same length. So, they're the same length all the way around him, which creates Sammy Square. Now we're going to look at Riley Rectangle. And Riley Rectangle, you hold this. Thank you so much, Monkey. Riley Rectangle looks a lot like Sammy Square. But Sammy Square, one of them has longer sides than the other. Rectangles have 2 short sides, 1, 2, and 2 long sides, 1, 2. And the door next to me is not a square. The door next to me is a rectangle. If I turn it this way, if I turn it, do you remember what that is? Vertically instead of horizontally, I'm going to have a door shape, the shape of a door. Now let's review, Monkey. What did we talk about last time? Do you remember the lines?
There was, Cavante curved line.
You're right. Cavante curved line that goes around and stops. And if we wanted to, we could use Cavante curved line to make Sierra Circle, which we're going to see coming up soon. Then we have Hattie Horizontal. And Hattie Horizontal goes from one side to the other. Monkey, you are being such a help. From one side to the other goes across. And then we have Valmiki. Do you remember? Valmiki vertical line, which goes from top to bottom. Top to bottom. And we have that one shape I reminded you that we're going to be seeing again, which is Sierra Circle. And Sierra Circle has a curved line, and she goes all the way around and stops. She goes all the way around and stops. And she doesn't have any sides. She is just all the way around, and I just accidentally dropped Sierra. Monkey, would you help me get her? There we go. So we've got Sierra, goes all the way around, but doesn't have sides. Riley Rectangle has 4 sides. Sammy Square has 4 sides. 4 sides that are equal for the square, 2 short sides and 2 long sides for Riley Rectangle. And Sierra Circle has 0 sides. She doesn't have any. Now, Monkey, are we ready to review and draw? And I'm going to have you go over with your piece of paper because you've been working really hard on coming up with the things we did last time. You've been working on your circles and your vertical lines and your horizontal lines. And you've really been practicing going through. Monkey had such a hard time when we did, well, we're going to review it, but he had a really hard time with making a plus sign. So that is what it looks like. It goes start at the top, goes down, and then goes over to the side and through. And he wanted to go straight down, and then he skipped over the line and continued. It was really tricky for him to go through, right, Monkey? But you didn't give up. You just kept on working hard. And what happened?
I did it. I did it. I did it. Did it. Did it.
You did. All right, here we go. I'm going to put you over here next to your creating tools. He'll be back. I've got my tablet behind me, and I have got a really bright marker that's going to help me create today. And just as a review for parents out there and for those of you, do you guys have your pieces of paper? Do you have your crayons? Do you have your pencil? Do you have your marker? What are you using today? I'm using a marker. I'm going to be drawing what's appropriate for each age group really quickly. So for a 2-year-old, this is appropriate. For a 2.5-year-old, this line is appropriate. For a 3-year-old, a circle is developmentally appropriate. For a 3.5 to a 4-year-old, this is the one that Monkey had a hard time with. Start at the top, go down, go over to the side and through. Monkey was having a really hard time with this one. And the concept of through can be really tricky for some children, and that's okay. They do get through it. Then a diagonal line is for 4.5-year-olds both ways. So these are for 4.5-year-olds in developmentally appropriate practice. And then an X, if you can imagine, because they're going to be doing the diagonal lines and they're going to be going through. Then last, and this is for, the X is for 4 years old, 11 months. And then a triangle is going to be appropriate for 5-year-olds who are 5 years and 3 months. Now with any of these, if your child is in a place where they've been practicing and maybe at 4 they're already making triangles, great. If they aren't, that's okay. We're just going to keep practicing. You're going to keep practicing at home. A great tip is use Play-Doh, use yarn, use anything that can help them to form, or use popsicle sticks, help them to form those shapes, to form those lines, because once they form them with their hands tactily, then it's more helpful for them when they go to draw it out or to write it out, because they have that concept already formed here in their brain to be able to have it come out of their fingertips. Now that we have this already figured out, we're going to review I've got 2 pieces of paper here. We're going to review over here.
Hey, Daddy, I did it.
What did you do, Monkey?
I did the plus sign. And I did it again. Oh, this is so fun.
Did you hear that? Monkey has been working on the plus sign again today. He's really, really trying hard. So happy for him. I'm going to celebrate. Yay, yay, monkey. Yay, yay, monkey. Would you celebrate with me? Yay, yay, monkey. Yay, yay, monkey. Now, when you do something that you've worked really hard on, it's okay to put your name in there. And you can say, yay, yay, me, yay, yay, me, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. It's really good to celebrate when you've been working hard, doing something. It might be listening to music that you like. It doesn't have to be food. It could be anything. It could be getting a hug. It could be getting a high five. It could be so many things. So remember to celebrate yourself. And we're going to be reviewing. And last time we did the straight line from top to bottom. And I think I'm going to move you guys a little bit closer here so you can see even better. Oh, there we go. So we've got the line from top to bottom, a line across from one side to the other, our vertical line, our horizontal line, then we drew circles. Do you remember? Around and stop. Around and stop. Some people go the opposite direction. Around and stop. Around and stop. And you know, something that I completely forgot to mention today was you might use the opposite hand. I use my right hand. You might use your left. That's okay. Or you might say, I use both. That's okay. You're going to use the hand that you feel most comfortable with. Maybe sometimes you feel comfortable with one hand or the other. Keep writing, keep drawing. So we've got our circles. And next, we're going to work on that one that Monkey was struggling with. Let's review that one real quick. We're going to start at the top. We're going to go to the bottom and stop. Then we're going to go over to the side in the middle here. And we're going to go through. Now, if I were to make a circle here, this circle would be the top. This circle right here would be the middle. And this circle right here would be the bottom. Top, middle, bottom. Top, middle, bottom. Bottom. So we've got our plus sign. And the next ones are new, friends. These ones can be tricky, but we're not going to give up. Sammy Square looks like this, and it's okay to draw some little dots. So I'm going to draw a dot here, and below it, I'm going to draw a dot here, and then I'm going to draw a dot over to the side here, and over to the side here. And parents, caregivers, it's okay to give them some help. This one's tricky. So you can do it this way, from dot at the top to the dot to the bottom. Then same over here, dot at the top, go down to the bottom. And then you can go over again to the top and go across, and same with the bottom. And we just created Sammy Square. Some of you may feel more comfortable doing your square a different way. I'm going to make my dots really quickly Some of you may like to go like this. Start at the top, go down to the bottom circle, over, back up, and over again. What do you feel more comfortable with right now? Now we're going to be making Riley rectangle. And Riley is going to need 4 dots as well, because remember, Riley has 4 sides, just like Sammy Square. So I'm going to make one here, and so this is my short side, and then I'm going to go over here to this side, and I want over here to this side. I'm going to go straight down, over to the side. That's up. Did you see how long that was? And up, got down, across, up, and back, over. And we've completed the rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. You ready to make our robot? I am too. While I'm pulling this off, please make sure that you have a new piece of paper, or you flipped and turned your paper over to the back while I get this next page ready. How you doing, monkey? The friends are getting their stuff and they're working really hard. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah. I'm working hard here.
Oh boy, monkey, you are working so hard. Oh, I notice you've got some rectangles you've been working on. And you keep working on those plus signs. All right, I'm gonna get back to the friends. All right, friends, sorry, Monkey wanted me to see what he was doing over here. We're gonna be drawing 2 different robots. And so I'm going to divide my paper into 2 long sections from top to bottom. The first robot is going to be simpler, which means we're not going to be using as many shapes to create it. However you want to do it, it's okay. If you want to follow along with me, that's okay. If you have some of your own ideas, add them in there. Maybe you want some circles on your robot, more circles than I create. Here we go. So our first robot, and if you need to, it's okay to draw those dots, those reference dots. If your mom or dad would like, and you're just saying, boy, you know, I would really like a few more dots, that's okay. It's okay to make more dots, so that way you can follow along. And if you wanted to add even more dots to follow along and trace, that's all right. So I'm going to trace, I'm going to go through over here to this side, and then I'm going to go from there and go across through those 3, and then I'm going to go back up and go through those 3, I'm going to go over to the side and go through those three. I've got my robot's head. Now my robot needs some eyes, and I want him to have some square eyes. So down, across, up, across. And while you're doing that, I'm going to make my other dots. And we're going to start at the top and go to this next square shape. Across, up, across again. And below my two eyes, I'm going to be creating the rectangular mouth. Start at the top, go down, and across, and back up. If I wanted to, I could have him have a smile like this. I do want him to have a full mouth, so I'm going to go back across with my line. If you'd like, you can stop here with his mouth, or you can continue. Do you remember last time how we made teeth? We went to the middle line right here, and we went across. And then we drew vertical lines and spaced them accordingly. So now he has those teeth. And I want him to have round eyes. So I'm going to give him some round eyes. And I'm going to pull this paper closer to you when I'm all finished so you can see it even better. Now below, actually I'm going to move you guys a little bit closer. So I'm going to go down, down to give him a neck. And this time I'm going to be making a rectangle. So I want 4 dots. He's going to have a long body. And I want to make these a little bit longer, his neck a little bit longer. And I'm going to go over here to the side. I'm going to go, start here, I'm going to go long line down, over and across. I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to go across. And it's okay to use your other hand to hold your paper. Sometimes when I'm drawing, I need my other hand to hold down the paper so it doesn't slide back and forth. Now I'm going to give him some arms. And I want the arms to be about here. I'm going to go side, side. And I want him to have legs. Long line down, long line down. And I want him to have, I've decided, a square hand. So long line down, same length across, same length across. Remember, it's okay for you to use those dots as you need to, as you're still learning. And I'm going to do my feet the same way. And I really want my robot to have some sort of ear. So I'm going to go over this way and over this way. And now he's got ears. And I imagine that he has buttons also. So I'm going to draw a large square right here at the top of him. And then I've decided I want him to have 2 rectangles here. And then I can make some circles for his, large circles if I want to. Maybe he needs a speaker. So there's our first one. We need to draw our other one really quickly. Now our next one is going to be a square. And it's okay if you're still back over here working on this one. It's also okay if you're still working on some of the other shapes. Now I want him to have a thin neck. And I want him to have another rectangular body. And I want him to have ears. So he looks very similar to the first one we did, but there's going to be so many more shapes. And this time I want rectangle eyes here. And I've decided I want him to have small rectangles inside, and I'm going to color them in. Coloring them in, and I want him to have a rectangle nose. 2 long sides and 2 short sides. And I want him to have a rectangle mouth, 2 long sides, 2 short sides, and in the middle I'm going to go across and through. I like when my robot has teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Next, I want my robot to have a square or actually a rectangle shoulder. And I want him to have legs. So I've got, this is one of his legs, and 2 long lines down over here to create his other set of legs. Then I want him to have square feet. Remember, squares have the same length all the way around. So he almost looks like he has a hoof instead, doesn't he? And I want him to have arms. So I went over to the side and a long line down. And this one, if you noticed, I went down over here to underneath, and then I continued that line, and then I went across. And I want his hands to look a little differently. I want them to go straight, straight, and then a small square right there, and a small square right there. And I want him to have buttons as well. And I've decided he's going to have a big rectangle on one side and 2 squares beside that. And then I want him to have 1 long rectangle right here. And I want him to have buttons. I wonder what kind of buttons you're going to create. A blast off button for your robot, a cleanup button. That's what I would want a robot that had a cleanup button. A robot that made me laugh button. Some larger buttons. speaker button over here. And then however I want my buttons to look over here. Maybe I want a whole bunch of buttons, kind of like his smile. So I can go through the line again. Remember how we made the mouth? I could make another set of buttons like that. If I want to, I can make dot buttons without making my marker move. Just press into the paper. And if I want to, I can add stripes onto my robot. So many things you can do. Now, did you remember when I told you that this one's going to be trickier? I wasn't kidding, was I? All right, friends, we are out of time. We went a little over half an hour. I'm going to bring this closer to you like I shared, and then Monkey wants to quickly show you his picture that he's been working on. All right, so that is the completed set of robots. I'll put this back because Monkey's really, really excited to show you what he created. Monkey, I'm going to put your paper up for everyone to see. So we can celebrate with you. Now, did you see Monkey's... Look, Monkey has been working on those plus signs. And he's been working on
the rectangle and the square.
That's one of his papers he's been working on. I would love to see what you have been creating. So if you'd like to share with me any of your pictures that I would just keep for myself, you can send them to dolan@adalib.org. That is my email address, and I'd love to see them. I won't share them with anyone because that's important. Maybe you just want my eyes to see them. All right, friends. Monkey and I want to say thank you and goodbye, and see you next time for farming animals. Thanks, and have a good day. Bye.